Hi, today, I will discuss transfemoral prosthesis limitations and the normal physiology of body weight transfer. In the last video, I discussed amputation, the challenges to prosthetics and persons with amputation, and the limitations of the prosthesis. It is available on this YouTube channel. The link is given in the description below. The prosthesis is unable to provide a reasonable replacement for the lost limb. Because of these two limitations, there is a physiological change with socket fitting. Biomechanical imbalance of muscle function first. In this lecture, learn about the physiology of body weight transfer in the able-bodied human. To understand the physiology of body weight transfer, the body weight is divided into two parts: head and trunk, hat, and lower limb. Let's consider the body weight, W, which acts on the anterior to the sacrum, S2. It is called the center of mass. The weight of the head and trunk is 2/3 of body weight, and the weight of the lower limbs is 1/3 of body weight. That is 1/6 for one lower limb. While standing on both limbs, bilateral standing, 1/3 of the weight of hat is transferred to each leg and the center of gravity acts between the base of support and muscle around the pelvis, gluteus medius, to maintain the coronal plane stability. In bilateral standing conditions, both hip joints act as a fulcrum to maintain balance. Let's calculate how much force is generated by the gluteus medius muscle during bilateral standing. If the distance from the hip joint or fulcrum to the center of gravity is 3 times the distance between the hip joint and the gluteus medius, then the gluteus medius of both sides of a 70 kg person generates 70 Newton force each. During single limb standing, total weight transfer to the stance hip joint is equal to 1/6 of the body weight because the weight of the swing phase limb is also added into the head and trunk weight. Center of gravity shifts towards the stance limb's base of support. To maintain balance over a single limb, the human body responds to lateral trunk bending and hip hiking. The stance limb's gluteus medius muscle maintains the balance of the body over the hip joint during single limb standing. Let's calculate how much force is generated by the gluteus medius muscle during single limb standing. If the distance from the hip joint or fulcrum to the center of gravity is 3 times the distance between the hip joint and the gluteus medius, then the gluteus medius of the stance side of a 70 kg person will generate 175 Newton force. It is almost 100 Newton greater than the bilateral condition. During single limb standing, the gluteus medius muscle contracts against the 5/6 of the weight to maintain balance. It generates a laterally directed force to the femur, which is countered by the friction force between the foot and ground and maintains the balance, or the body does not fall on a single limb. How the body weight transfer after amputation and how the prosthesis helps to transfer the body weight will discuss in the next lecture. Subscribe to the channel and click the bell icon to receive notifications about the upcoming lectures.